Hey horror fans, welcome back to Room 237, coming at you with yet another 80s slasher film. And I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I just watched this for the first time. I know it's a big one. I know if I go online I can find it in 2 seconds, but it's been kind of hard to find or pricey where I'm at. But that is Maniac Cop. Finally saw Maniac Cop. It's been on my radar for a long time. I heard about this even before I was into a lot of what goes into this, like Bruce Campbell, huge Bruce Campbell fan, mostly because of Ash. Ash Williams from Evil Dead is probably my favorite movie hero that's not already a superhero like Batman. But Tom Atkins, he's also a great genre favorite. He was the dad in the wraparound story of Creepshow. He was in John Carpenter's The Fog, Halloween 3, which I haven't seen since I was a kid. If I watch that as a movie on its own, then I can judge it, but I didn't really like it. Yeah, Tom Atkins. It's directed by William Lustig, who also directed Maniac, one of my favorite slashers of all time. He also directed the 2 sequels, Maniac Cop 2 and Maniac Cop 3, Badge of Violence, which I never saw. This came out in 1987, so this was either a year before or the same year as Evil Dead 2. I know, huge fan of Evil Dead 2, and I can't remember. Pretty sure it's 87 was when Evil Dead 2 came out. But anyway, pretty straightforward movie. It kind of feels more like an action film, like an 80s cop action movie. The soundtrack is definitely not a slasher soundtrack, except for like flashbacks of the killer. The rest, it feels like 80s cop music. But yeah, there's a cop going around, and he's killing people. Just unstoppable, huge guy. He's played by Robert Zadar, I'm guessing is how you pronounce that. And pretty much the whole city, which I'm not sure what city it is. New York. I don't think it showed Statue of Liberty or anything, so I wasn't aware, but you pretty much got the whole city terrified of cops. And there's one officer, Jack Forrest, played by Bruce Campbell, who, by a series of unfortunate events, circumstances, he ends up being fingered as the Maniac Cop. Tom Atkins is the lieutenant that's working on the case. And pretty much, it's just the cop going around killing people and Bruce Campbell trying to prove his innocence. And I know in my collection video, I said I was expecting this to be somewhat like Intruder because it's late 80s, has Bruce Campbell, which I know Bruce Campbell was an Intruder for like 2 seconds. But it kind of is like that, it's fast paced, it's very fun, it's a very fun movie. Just, there's not much to say about it. It's a Maniac Cop. I know some of the kills were credited as being boring, which I can see. But they're still bloody. It's still... I know. Haven't even 5 minutes yet, and I'm already almost done with this. But, there really isn't much to it. You find out... Originally, the cop is this guy, Matt Cordell, who was like a Boy Scout police officer. It's a big guy. Lived by the badge. He, if I remember correctly, because I just got done watching it, he killed someone while on duty, and the system just put him away for it. They didn't say it was like an act of duty or anything. Or he violated someone's rights, so they put him away. Knowing damn well what happens to cops when they go to prison. Yeah, I'm sorry for my voice. I'm all stuffy. I apologize. And we see through flashbacks that, yeah, he was attacked in the shower. He wasn't raped or anything, just a couple guys shanked him. Put up a big fight, and he was shanked, just hacked all the shit. And when he was sent to the prison morgue, the doctor realized he was alive and revived him. So to the whole world, he's either dead or those who know about it, it's like a dirty little secret. And Bruce Campbell, I do like the writing in this because Bruce Campbell, he's a guy with, a poor marriage. He's estranged from his wife. You find out in the beginning, they've been seeing counselors, they're not communicating. He's taking a lot of overtime hours. We see that she has like a scrapbook of the Maniac killing. She suspects he's the killer. She gets this phone call which is kind of funny, because first time we see Bruce Campbell, it's almost like they were teasing us, like, you're gonna see Bruce Campbell now. Because he's facing a mirror, getting his clothes ready, it keeps showing him from behind, so it's almost like he's teasing us, like, Bruce Campbell's coming. But she even says, like, she even tells him, like, don't go out tonight, which is a line by Maniac, or in Maniac, directed by William Lustig. And, so she follows him. He goes to a hotel where he's having an affair with a woman cop that works in Vice. And his wife is found dead in the same hotel. So, of course, they find her body. They go to his house. They find the scrapbook. Find out they've been seeing marriage counselors. They haven't been getting along. So everything points to Campbell. You really feel bad for him. I was rooting for him the whole time because huge Evil Dead fan. Love Ash. But even though, he cheated on his wife, which is terrible. I don't condone that. You still feel bad for him because he's not a murderer. He's a good cop. And, Tom Atkins believes him. He's working the case. He figures out he's not the killer. He finds out who the killer is. But, of course, he's killed before anyone can help him. And, he left a message to the commissioner saying the killer's a guy from the inside. He's getting his information from a female cop on the inside. Which he was. He was dating a woman in the file room. But, of course, to the commissioner, that looks like... Because by now, everyone knows that Bruce Campbell and the woman that works Vice are seeing each other. So, and just everything looks like points to Bruce Campbell. And I thought it was well done. The look of Robert Z'Dar, it's... I guess he had some sort of deformity, but it got him a lot of roles because he was a big guy, but his jaw was like super huge. I guess kind of like Quagmire. I don't mean to make fun of him. He passed away a few years ago. May he rest in peace. This is the only movie I've ever seen him in. But, and also, so that woman from the file room is kind of helping him. He was supposed to go after people that really deserved it, but he started killing innocent people. That's all he kills in the movie is innocents. But ultimately, he was going after the mayor and the commissioner and everybody in the system for putting him away and having this shit happen to him. But, you get Campbell's, like, of course, William Lustig himself plays a hotel clerk as he did in Maniac. Sam Raimi, director, of course, of the Evil Dead trilogy. He plays a TV news anchor guy on location of a parade. Dan Hicks, who plays the Hick from Evil Dead 2, has a small role. William Lustig is actually related to the LaMotta's, Jake and Joey LaMotta. Which I'm a huge fan of the movie Raging Bull. So, Joe Pesci's character, Joey LaMotta, the boxer, the real LaMotta has a cameo in this. Oh, I know my review's kind of been all over the place. It's just I'm really stuffy, and I just got done watching it, and I'm just trying to find the right groove. But this was just a really fun movie. I highly recommend it to anybody. You know, if you're a fan of like 8 lady slashers like Intruder, then you'll like this. Just a lot of people complained back then about, you know, the writing, the uneven tone, which, yeah, it does sort of feel like some points slasher film, other times it's like a 80s action cop film. You know, like the finale takes place in like a pier during the daytime with a bunch of cops. You know, it feels like a cop movie. But the slasher stuff I thought was well done. It is pretty bloody. It's bloody enough to keep anybody interested. The backstory about a good cop, you know, turned evil over pretty much being killed. I really liked this movie. I was kind of expecting it to be more gorier and more balls to the wall, maybe like Intruder, but I actually like this more than Intruder. Maybe because Intruder says Bruce Campbell on the cover and he's in it for 2 seconds. He's actually the star of this. Even Bruce Campbell himself has said it's not a good movie. He looks back on this and doesn't really care for it, even though he came back from Maniac Cop 2. I don't know how big his role is. But anyway, really liked Maniac Cop. Had a lot of fun with it. I recommend it to anybody. Really fun movie. But I gotta go blow my nose. So, for Room 237, thank you for watching.